Hello, everybody. We are back with another episode of In Conversation With. And this week, I'm delighted to welcome back to the Abbott World Marathon Majors channels, Paul Addicott. Paul, it is great to see you again. The last time we chatted was Berlin last September, and you were getting ready to run marathon number 50. Just tell us about that day.
Oh wow, that seems so far, so long ago now. Berlin, absolutely pleasure to run Berlin. It was the fourth time I've ran that event, and I always love to come to Berlin. The starting zone, it's one of the busiest, and the sort of the atmosphere they drum up before the start is exceptional, and I always love that feeling. It takes quite a while to get over that start line, but each moment they gear it up. You start having the music playing, balloons going off. Berlin was a bit of a wet one last year, to be honest, as opposed to the year before. So finishing wasn't as nice. I still managed to grab a few beers, but the event, the course, always an absolute pleasure. One thing for sure in Berlin Marathon, when you're pacing, I'm always surrounded with people. You're never alone on that course.
Yeah, it looked fantastic. I think you were organising the sub 4 hour fun bus, if I remember rightly.
That's correct. Yeah, so the 4 hour fun bus, always like to run 3:59 and a bit of change. And Berlin, I've got pictures of the finish line of that event, surrounded by hundreds of people all running through. And it's really good. An event like Berlin, you know that you're going to have people that start with you and finish with you, stick with you the whole way around. It's really good.
What an atmosphere. Now, you didn't end your 2019 marathon calendar there. What other marathons did you tackle and pace before lockdown changed things for everybody?
Well, 2019, so it was going really well. I finished with Chicago Marathon, went and paced that for the second time, went back and paced Amsterdam as well later on that month. And then I ran New York Marathon for the first time. So I finished 2019 pacing New York Marathon. That is the hardest major I've ran so far. I didn't quite appreciate how challenging some of those hills would be compared to places like Berlin, but it was fantastic as well. So came in 3:59, pacing the sub 4 fun bus. Ended in 2019 on a real high. So that was my fourth star. This year, I have managed to run a marathon. So 2020 started off quite well. I ran Miami Marathon, pacing sub 4. So yeah, it started exactly as it was meant to go. Obviously, we know that things started to change after that.
So you've got 4 stars.
I do.
And Boston are still waiting for you. I
Yeah.
presume you're hoping to do those in the near future.
Yeah, so I was actually booked on to Tokyo 2020, and that was cancelled before the ripple effect across the whole world. And Tokyo, I was trying to aim to get a sub 3 for a Boston qualification. So that's my plan. Because I pace all the time, I very rarely go out trying to do my own race. And the problem with that, I don't want to push myself too much, because I don't want to injure myself or damage the pacing that I'm doing, because I really enjoy that. But I need to spend some time, so I thought focus on Tokyo so I can get the entry to Boston. And my plan would have been to try to get a Boston place for next year.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's going to roll back. It'll still happen. I've already booked flights for the 2021 Tokyo, because there should be an option to do either or. So my plan will be to go and do 2021 and then see what happens in the future. And obviously Boston will be where I'm aiming for next.
And that's quite a difference in training. Like if you say, you pace for a sub 4, but your own goal is a sub 3. So I'm imagining that at the start of this year, because we were all into sort of 16 plus weeks of training for Tokyo, your training was very different and a much sort of more focused training program.
Yeah, so I think because I pace sub 4 all the time, I'm quite comfortable with the distance. So my legs are used to kind of, the distance. So I don't need to be doing that as much. I had to sort of really focus on the speed, because it's hard for me to run that fast at the moment. I remember when I was starting out, when I used to sort of go for the faster times, I was much more naturally fast, and I had to really concentrate on building up those miles. And that's normally the way things happen. People are normally faster and they build into the distance. But for me, it was a little bit of the other way around, because I was doing marathons every week. I was doing the long, slow runs for myself for the training. But fitting in that speed work is that balance of making sure you have the time, you can do the intense training, but give yourself time to recover as well.
Absolutely. Now, obviously that is on hold, but you're still running, you're still staying very active. And as one of our race captains and someone who people turn to for running tips, what advice are you giving to people right now about their training and how to maintain that base level?
Well, for me, I try to look at the psychological side. Ask yourself, why are you running? Okay, because not many people get into running because they want to run a race. Okay, so trying to get people to start being positive and actually enjoy the run. So I've just did a blog the other day about run for the love of running, because that's kind of why I got into pacing in the first place. Because after years and years of trying to get the best times I could, I fell out of love with running. I was then doing it for the sake of it, trying to push it. I stopped enjoying it. And that's the thing, when you're just aiming for a goal all the time, it can be disappointing. But we don't know when we're going to race again. We don't have those targets. It doesn't mean that you can't keep your body flowing. You can go out of a bit more of an unstructured running regime, which you can focus on enjoying it more. You can build those base miles. You can get your body used to running the distance and speed, but try to set yourself your own little challenges, because having an event, so a speed goal or distance goal, is a good motivation. It's a good thing to aim for, but you can set yourself your own little goals, whether it is to do a virtual challenge, or whether it's to do a set period of miles or speed throughout the week, or just go out there and enjoy running.
Yeah, Run for the Love of Running. I love that as a title. I thought that was a great blog. Is there anything that you've learned about yourself when you're running during this time without racing? Like you say, your mental focus has shifted. Anything that you've realized about your habits and running life?
I usually take my whole family for most events I go to, and so we make it a outing, and we are busy, active. We explore the world, explore different parts of the country, um, and with that gone, it's a huge part of my life. Sometimes you don't know quite how much something means to you until it's gone, and that's a positive element, because when we can go back out there, I think people are going to appreciate so much more. Because there are so many people out there that go and just run an event, it's done, and almost forget about it. I think some of those are going to appreciate it and embrace it more moving forward.
I agree with you. I think it's absolutely that community spirit which pulls all of us together and everybody, connected to the Abbott World Marathon Majors. It's about that community, those huge events, sharing those moments in time. And I do think that people will be more thankful and appreciative. And I think, Paul, you're a great inspiration to people. And after we spoke in Berlin, I took your advice, and I was part of a pace group for a marathon that I did at the start of the year. And it really made the whole experience so much better being part of a group, although it was your own race. And I think you are a great example of how you can change the mindset and really get so much more out of doing what you do.
I think that's so nice to say. Some of the races I've been to, it's crazy how there's so many people that have tried to get a certain time for so long, and by focusing on it and dwelling on it and beating yourself up throughout the race, you can fail time and time again. And sometimes taking that step back and enjoying that experience and just being able to run, enjoy the run, you'll be so surprised about what your body's capable of. And really pleased you've just said you've went and done it yourself,
Yeah.
because it's a great experience for you. And finishing and seeing all those people who have managed to achieve their goals, have been working for so long, is a fantastic experience. And for those who have been working on those goals and you can't do them right now, what I'd say is don't give up, okay? Because it will come, and you may be able to reevaluate those goals, because you may be able to get stronger and go right through them when race day comes. So much better. So don't give up hope, because it will happen.
So I know that you are also busy with work, and just a sort of a final thought from you, how has all of this, affected your life, and how much more important has running become to you as a sense of release and enjoyment at this time?
So before COVID all started, I used to run at the weekends. That was the main time I ran, and like I say, it was that social element, getting people. Since this period of time, and not being able to do that as much, the weekends I have spent with my family, because that's the main time I've been able to. Because I've been working full time throughout, looking longer hours because of the work that I do. So what I've done is concentrate more on running to and from work, and sometimes the one period of time of the day that I've been able to just be by myself and just let the thoughts clear through my mind, and just feel at one with myself, really. And it's been really important to be able to go and still do that, because I know not everyone has been able to find the time to run. But what's been really interesting is with my run to work and home, actually I've seen more and more people running. Because I used to go to work, run occasionally. I used to cycle quite a lot, and there was lots of cars, but not many people out on the roads. But in England, we were able to still go and do some exercise. And what I found is more and more people have gone out and started running. And I think I'm quite excited to see what happens when it goes back to normal, because I think there will be more people out there running. There are going to be more people that will start thinking about events. I think it's going to be a nervous time at the beginning, because I think a lot of people will be nervous about going to events to start with. But when it does go back to normal, and it will, we have to put that line out there, because some people say it won't. It absolutely will go back to normal. Things will change, but we will end up having big events again. We will end up having even more people going and running and enjoying them. And I think I just try to look forward to that time, whenever that is. Just be positive about that is still to come. I can look back and see all what I've done. I could dwell on what I'm missing right now, and believe me, it's an awful lot. But instead, let's look forward to what we can do in the future, and all the new people that will be running with us in the running community.
Yeah. Paul, thank you so much. It's been so lovely to see you again, albeit remotely this time. But I know that I will see you at another major very soon. And you're doing a fantastic job in keeping the spirit of everybody up, and keeping everybody, going and looking forward. And that's all we can really do right now. So thank you for that. And thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. And I'll see you at a major soon.
You will. Thanks, Paul. Take care.